Every empire began with a footstep, and every powerful story began with one brilliant idea. Welcome to an exciting episode of She Inspires with RSM, where we celebrate women in Ghana who dare to dream and also turn their visions into reality. My name is Rebecca Sways-Morrow. You're welcome to the show. All right, so in today's episode, we have a phenomenal woman. But before I get into who this woman is, I'd like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rebecca Sways-Morrow, for more content where we celebrate women. We talk about mental health. We talk about anything and everything. Turn on that notification bell so that you're notified on all of our content, okay? If you haven't done that, please do that now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Share, like, comment, leave us a comment in the comment section, and let's have a conversation, okay? Today we have a phenomenal woman in the studio with us, or with me. Well, her profile is quite long. I wish she would do this herself, but you know what? Let me just read it, okay? Her name is Nancy Ejapong. She's a passionate leader and advocate for women's empowerment. And as the CEO of Raquel Brand, a Ghana-based consulting firm, she focuses on pageantry, ushering services, recruitment, and personal development to help individuals and businesses move forward. A proud alumni of Santo Girls Senior High School, just like the humble self. And also the University of Ghana, Nancy combines strategic leadership with a hands-on approach, building a strong client relationship and championing sustainable growth for women and businesses. Her achievements include being the first runner-up at Miss Global International World 2023, where she proudly represented Ghana. And as a life coach, Nancy inspires confidence and guides other women to unlock their God-given potential through her platforms via social media, masterclass, and webinar. I told you that was a mouthful. With a round of applause, let's welcome Nancy to the studio. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Beck.
It's good to have you here.
It's good to have you.
How are you?
I'm awesome.
Oh, good. It's good to have you here.
I'm happy to be here.
Finally, this journey has begun, and I'm glad you are on board with me. Wow, you have a long profile.
Thank you.
But I didn't really know you were the first runner-up for Miss Global International. I didn't know. I just found this out. Wow.
I am.
Wow. Wow. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.
This is good. We're going to have a long conversation today. We'll be talking about bold beginnings and the power of starting small. All right. So now let's get into business. We're talking about, small beginnings, the power of starting small. With everything that you've built so far, did you ever dream you were ever going to have this brand as a kid? What was your dream? What did you want to become?
So as a kid, I knew I wanted to be great. I wanted to be a medical doctor. Oh, yes, to begin with. But aside that, I wanted to be a billionaire. I wanted to be great. That was my dream as a child.
And how's that going?
Well, from what I see, it's going well.
Right.
It's going to happen.
I like that. I like that. So, give us a picture of your background, how you started, how you got to this point in your life, because just like you're saying, you wanted to become a medical doctor, I wanted to become a billionaire. What steps did you take from an early childhood? What steps did you take? Who inspired you? How supportive were your parents or friends? What challenges did you face? I just need that story. I just need this inspirational story, because it's not easy in our part of the world to be such an ambitious woman, okay, and still forcing and not, relaxing and saying, oh, someday I'm just going to get married and everything is going to be fine because my husband will be there to provide. But you're still, pushing, okay? So just give us a little picture of a background that you have, how you've come this far.
Right. So the medical doctor dream has not really actualized yet because it took a different turn.
Okay.
Yeah, I was supposed to go to Lagos and then go to the medical school, but it didn't happen. After my first year in biological science, I didn't get a chance to get to the medical school. So I took a different turn. Then I did zoology instead. So that's what I majored in and completed with. But along the line, I found out that I have a passion for mental health, life coaching, clinical psychology, therapy, those kind of things, which is also linked to health, just like being a medical doctor. So I decided, okay, then I'll go in that tangent, right? So I've been pursuing that. And then with the, wanting to be a great woman, billionaire side, I have done so many businesses. I mean, I started with developing myself because I knew that's where I had to begin from. I'm somebody who enjoys or loves reading books. Mm-hmm. So I was reading a lot of, personal development books, self-empowerment books and all of that. And I realized that, no, to be able to get to that point that I want to get to, it has to start with investing in myself. So I did a lot of that. And I'm still doing it because I know that learning does not stop. You always have to learn, you always have to improve. So I have done a lot of courses and I have done a lot of businesses because, I didn't really, until I got to the, where I am now, I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do or exactly what I had to do to become that great woman that I knew I wanted to be in line of business. So I was trying everything. I've sold food before. I've done drinks. I've done events in the past. In fact, I've done so many things. Yeah. Some of them I can't even remember. But once in a while, I remember something like, hey, my birthday, my pen. But here we are today with the Raquel brand. And all of these started after my pageantry journey. This pageantry thing too also began with one lady. I met this lady in Accra during a public speaking training, which is part of the investment. I told you I've been investing in myself because I believe that there are certain places that you can get to faster if you're a good public speaker. Right. So I started, investing myself in that area. So I met this lady during one of the training sessions. And then after the training, she walked up to me and was like, are you a beauty queen? And I said, no. She asked if anyone has ever told me that I have, this beauty queen quality. So I said, yeah. Then she was like, then what are you waiting for? Why haven't you done anything about it? Because I can see you have the qualities. And if you ever contest in any of these beauty pageants, you will just win hands down. Yeah. And I was giving excuses because I'm like, considering my age. Yeah. Like, have you what kind of what kind of beauty pageant? So I didn't really give it a thought. But as I was giving excuses, she went on trying to convince me. She said one thing that got me thinking about it. She was like, could it be that this is what God really wants you to do so that you'll be able to make the impact that you want to make? I was like, how did she not want to make impact? Mm-hmm. Because I understood from childhood that I had to be influential. Yeah. And influence comes with money. Like you need to have that kind of cash to you to make certain impact. Mm-hmm. So if she's saying, who knows, this could be the part that will help you to. I was like, okay. So I went back to my hotel and then I thought through it, prayerfully considered it. And then, the Lord dropped in my spirit about the book of Esther. So I went to read it. I mean, I had read it before, but when I read it this time, it hit differently. The more I studied it, the more I got inspired. Wow. It's like, okay, so this girl was beautiful and she had an influence. She used her beauty and her influence to, effect some changes and then even save her people. So why can't I do same? Yeah. So then I had a purpose from that time that, okay, then if I could get a platform, if I could use my voice, what I want to do is to impact women, to empower them, to use my voice and that platform that I have to impact them, to inspire them so that, they'll be bold enough to step out. Most people like to be in their comfort zone. They're able to make the necessary impacts that they have to make. So I got that inspiration that I think I can use my voice. I can also use my beauty as a woman. I can use my influence to also, impact people, empower women, especially to also use their beauty and influence to make a positive impact. So that's where this whole thing began from childhood and throughout, my life and to where we are now.
Okay. So you mentioned how, you didn't know what you wanted to do. So you were caught up in doing a lot of things, selling food, drinks, and a whole lot. God knows I've had my own fair share, because I used to sell fabrics, African print fabrics, because I felt like, women today, you can't depend on a man. So, what do? You need to make impacts. Like, I know I have to be a great person. I just don't know where to start from. I don't know how to begin. I don't know where to get the money from. I don't know what to do. So I spoke to my mom one time and she was like, how about these fabrics? You could just try, because these fabrics are unique. I showed her some fabrics that I wanted to buy for myself. Okay. She was like, how about you get them? And these were all the way in Nigeria, right before COVID hit. And I was like, okay, fine, let's try. I'm not the business type. I'm the kind who would rather, know that, okay, fine, this is what I have to do. I do it and then I'm done. But like transactions, business, I am not, naturally not that kind. So my mom was like, you never know, just give it a try. I said, okay. I got my first batch and, I had my beginner's luck. And I sold the first batch quickly within 2 weeks. I think I had over 50 pieces of cloth, and it was all 6 yards each. And I was selling it at 150. And I finished the first batch in like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh God, then this is good. The second batch came and I was like, the sales were slow. And I was like, this is not for me. This is not for me. God, it's like, because business will get you to that point where you feel like you're back down, you're not paying. Business is weird. And then you also said something about, leaving your comfort zone. It was difficult for me to do that because at some point when I was really broke, I realized social media wasn't working and fetching me as much as I thought it would, even though people saw and then expressed interest. I had to go out there and then sell to people. I had my big backpack. It was an experience for me. I felt like I'm not a DB, but it's like, yes, sir. That kind of thing. But when I was broke, I hit the street. No, because I needed money. Yeah. And you see, that's the thing. Sometimes we possess the things that we need to move on, but we don't pay attention. So when I really needed the money, I stepped out there, and that day I made over 400 Ghana cedis. Whoa. And I was like, business is good though. It's good. Business is good though. Well, I still felt it wasn't for me. I was still looking for something that was meant for me, Acting is my safe haven, and I find solace in doing that. But for other young ladies who, just like we went through, don't know where to start from, don't know who to talk to, because nowadays you can't really talk to people about your problems. That's the thing. And you were able to meet a lady who actually came to you and you finally opened up to her. So how do we, because it's important we recognize who we talk to and who we open up to. How did this person make you feel to the point where you had to trust this person to finally open up to get you where you are?
So one, she was persistent. And two, I thought she doesn't know me. So what is she talking about? Because she seemed to have some truth in what she was saying, because I knew it way back. People used to call me, from shop, people used to call me Miss Ghana, Miss World, but I didn't give it attention because I felt like, medical doctor, the Miss Ghana, so I didn't really pay attention to that. But her persistence and the thing she said, that who knows, this could be the pathway that you are looking for. And I thought, when I thought through it, I thought, okay, well, pageantry gives you a platform because there are so many girls who aspire to be a queen. So if pageantry can make me a queen, and that will make somebody listen to me because I'm a queen, and that will give me the chance to share my message, why not? But I also think that as a life coach now, I think that one of the ways that a young girl can find out, discover these things, is to explore. Like we all did. You have to explore, ladies. Explore. Don't be afraid to explore. At all. Don't be afraid. That is the confidence part. Most people are not confident enough to explore. When you were talking about the cloth, I've sold clothes too. I've sold shirts, dresses, shoes, bags. In fact, that's why I said that. Yes. And my car booth was my shop. I didn't even have to get a physical shop. Yeah. So I would drive from office to office. I was all over the place. Yeah. I was hustling. But you know how I started that business? I didn't start in the car because I had not bought a car then. Yeah. I started with a bag. So I packed all those things. And that business, I started while I was in school at Lagos. So I was selling to my mates, my colleagues, and those on the floor.
Wow.
Yes. That was where I started this clothing business. I was trying it. See, try and error and then you will discover what is really, really yours.
And what do you think stops people from exploring, especially with the ladies in our part of the world? What do you think stops us from exploring?
Yeah. You're scared. Some people are scared of what we even discover.
Right.
You know, somebody said something that it is not that we can do it, but it's because we are scared of what we can do.
Exactly.
So I think some people are scared of what they will discover about themselves.
To finally realize how powerful they are.
So I think that's one thing that stops most of these women from exploring. Other than that, why not?
Right.
Why not?
So you mentioned life coaching. How did you get there? From wanting to be a billionaire medical doctor, you entered pageantry, and now you're a mental health advocate and a life coach as well. Please, what is your story?
Okay, so this whole story is actually taken from, I actually took inspiration from Queenesta's story.
Okay.
There's no special story anywhere.
Including
aside
mental health?
Yeah, no, not including the mental health. That one too is a different story.
I'm interested in that story. Oh yeah. So let's wrap up with the whole life coach story.
Right. So the life coaching pageantry story, I took inspiration from Queenesta. You know, from her story, as I mentioned earlier, she used her beauty and influence to effect change and all that. So I thought that, okay, life coaching, it gives you some kind of influence because then you know something that people are looking for. Right? One of the days where people will go and see people and seek for advice. They say you have to pay for that advice, whether you want to start a business, when you're having relationship issues and all that, you need to talk to an expert, and an expert will charge you. So that's where the life coaching came from. So I realized, okay, this will give me influence. The pageantry too, my beauty and intelligence will give me the platform. So when I combine the two, then I'll be able to inspire these young ladies, you know, like help them build their confidence so that they can step out there and then, you know, make meaningful impact in their communities. Because that's what it's all about. Right. I believe that women have influence. And so when we combine our beauty and influence, you don't necessarily have to, you know, some women think that they have to depend on men for survival. I disagree. I think that women have so much. Your beauty is not for you to depend on a man. It's not for a man to come to you and say, oh, you're beautiful, let me sleep with you and give you this. Your beauty has a purpose. So I believe that women or young women should find the purpose behind their beauty and what they can do, which is their inner potential. Combine the two and they'll be unstoppable. So that's how I got into the coaching and pageantry.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And then you mentioned taking or, drawing inspiration from Esther from the Bible. What role does religion play? In your case as a Christian, what role does Christianity play in building a woman's confidence or, helping her through her career or choosing a career path? What role does religion or Christianity play?
So you were a Christian, so I'm sure you've heard about this. What is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen? Faith is confidence. Faith is confidence. Faith says that I don't see it, but I believe it's there. I believe if I can only do it, I can get it. And that's exactly, so look at these people of faith, these people in the Hall of Fame when it comes to faith. Everything they did was based on confidence. There's a woman with the issue of blood. Confidence. She sat there and said, if I can only touch Jesus' hem, I'll be healed. And what did she do? Did she stay there?
No.
She moved. So I believe that Christianity teaches women to be confident. You see, all these women that God used to make impact from, aside Esther, We have the Sarah, we have the Ruth, we have the Deborahs. Yeah. All these women were outstanding women. And there's one thing that stands out besides their beauty. It's confidence. Right. They have faith. They have confidence. They took action. Some of them heard things, and then they took steps. And that is what we are supposed to do as women.
Yeah. Don't just have faith. You should also take steps.
Didn't the Bible say faith without works?
Yeah.
So I think that Christianity teaches us about everything that we need to succeed in life.
All right.
If only you can understand and then use it, apply it.
My goodness. Okay. So that's it for, the life coaching part. Now we're moving on to the mental health part, which is my area of interest because, someone last year, I had a mental breakdown.
Tell me, what?
And I started my own mental health journey. It hasn't been easy. Oh my God. Tell me, how did you become a mental health advocate? Because this has got to be interesting. What happened to you, first of all? What happened to you?
Okay, so relationship and sensation.
Oh my goodness.
Relationship.
He should be shaking in the seat right now if he's watching this.
No, I've got this, broken heart thing.
I got that your first.
Yes. Oh, it was my first. So I didn't know what to do. I was so frustrated. This thing pushed me out of my job. I lost my job because of that.
Were you fired or you quit?
I quit. Oh, I quit in the name of... See, can you imagine? I was a teacher then. When I come to class, I'm not able to teach. All I do is cry.
Oh. What class were you teaching?
Senior high school. SHS 1 to 3.
Are you serious? Hey, madam, I get broken heart. Oh, I'm sorry.
Science teacher, biology. Oh. It was that bad. So I couldn't take it. So I decided to give myself some time to heal.
Oh no.
And then I thought it was simple. My day took me 2 years.
So I thought I was a soft one, but it looks like I'm hardcore. For me to give up my job because of what? I'm hardcore.
You're hardcore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're hardcore.
In front of SHS students. Maybe they have a mess wrong capacity. Madam Boyejano.
I don't even know whether they noticed it. I don't know.
I am so sorry. How long were you in for?
Oh, was it? I think within a year. It happened within a year. It wasn't even long.
Jesus. Was that your first boyfriend?
No, it wasn't, but it was more like, that some guys, they are able to get into your head, get to a place where no man has ever been to and make you, believe them, fall over heels, and that was the point.
Your eyes saw the glow.
Naivety.
Wow. And then what happened next?
So, throughout the 2 years journey, I was just seeking help here and there, researching, speaking to one pastor or the other. We Christians, that's what we know. Everything we have to pray and all that. But eventually, I understood that you have to pray, but you should also seek help, like physical help. So I sought to see a counselor. Then they helped me kakra. When I got I got the basics of what they are trying to do. So from there, I started applying those things and I started researching more about these things, and with time. And of course, I cannot take God aside, because where I was, I don't know whether it's right to say this, but my situation was beyond physical. It was beyond physical. So it also needed a lot of prayers. So there was a point that I had to pray, I had to fast and all that for about 40 days. With time, the Lord helped me and I was able to recover. But it did not end there, because I thought once you come out of it, thank God you are out, so life goes on. But what really started this mental health advocate journey was, it happened to a friend of mine. Hers was not broken heart, but she was traumatized. It was a different situation. And some way, somehow, God used me to help her come out of her situation. And her case, I can say it was more deadly than mine, because at that time I had got to know that we have psychotherapists, we have all these people there because of the research, and so I led her to some psychologists and all that. Would you believe that in Ghana here, most of the people she spoke to said her case was beyond that? So the therapist requested for a number, contact of any relative, friend, anybody that she can trust, who really knows her well, to tell the story. So she gave my number out, and then the therapist contacted me. We spoke, and then in the end, I asked her that, is there any other option? And she said there is. So I think I would love to know, but she said that one, it's too tedious. You would need somebody to volunteer to do it. I said, I will. She said, okay, provided she would tell me what I have to do, I'm willing to. She said, okay. So we had a session. Then she took me through what I need to do and all that. My dear, she told me that if all goes well, within a month, she should be fine. My dear, I added all the things that I had learned, and within 2 weeks, she was perfect. How it happened?
Wow.
The therapist was wowed, like you said, wow. She was like, how did you do this? I had no idea, but I guess God had given me something.
After fasting and praying,
It gave me something. I didn't just fast and pray. It gave me something. So after her, there were other people that along the way that I encountered that had depression and all those, stress, anxiety and all of that. So I was able to apply some of the techniques to them, and they were fine.
Wow. In everything that you've said, I realized that in trying a lot of things, everything fell in place perfectly for you. In moments where you were investing in yourself, public speaking and everything, when it came to pageantry, you exhibited that flawlessly. You needed it, obviously. And then with the heartbreak you went through, with the fasting, the prayer, the therapy, and the reading and everything, apparently it wasn't just for you, it was for someone else as well.
Wow.
What teaches me a lot of things, because most of the things that we go through, most of the things that we feel have no meaning in our lives are usually the stairs or the steps we need to finally get to where we really want to get to. I remember I used to love music, and I used to love acting, drama. I was always part of the drama club starting school. And, when I'm home for holidays, like the mom and the papa games, not the weird kind, but but the cooking and everything. I didn't know what I wanted to become, because I felt like maybe my circle was too small for me to even dream big, because I'm from a very small circle. My background, I wasn't really allowed to play with friends. So I'm really from a very small circle, very, very small. I wasn't allowed to socialize much, because Nigeria then was kind of rough, the witchcraft, the wizardry. So my parents were always like, parents were big on their children, protecting their kids. So I came to Ghana when I was 10. And even with that, because of how I was brought up, it was still difficult for me to socialize. Okay. So it was just me and my mom, me and my mom, me and my mom, me and my mom. Naturally, I'm an extrovert, but my mom is an introvert. So I picked her traits. Okay. And I realized I wasn't good at math. I was good at English. I was good at social studies. I was good at, anything social, anything that has to do with people, is people related, poetry, drama, something, But when it comes to the sciences and the math and the environmental side, I'm like, this is not for me. So in school, I really struggled. I struggled in school, and I thought there was something wrong with me. It's not like I couldn't do it. But I don't have the interest. I don't have the love or the passion for it. There was one time we were supposed to write poems for peace poem competition. I think this was way back 2006 thereabouts. Yeah. And the whole of Ghana, I won 3rd place.
Whoa.
Yes, I won 3rd place. And you see, I was stressing over what I wanted to write. I was stressing, like the people I was competing with, like the people who were also doing or writing the poems, looked more brilliant, and I was intimidated. Okay, I was intimidated, and I didn't have anybody in my family to, cheer me on and encourage me. Because, I wasn't lucky like that, but I'm blessed anyway. But I wrote what I could, and I was like, I don't know, I'm just giving it a try. My brother just read it. He was like, this is good. Just submit it. And then one day I was in school, and then my headmaster was like, I'm so proud of you. I was like, what? Like, what's happening, right? I was like, oh, so the three of you, 1, 2, 3, you guys, you won from our school. You made the school proud. And this is the first person, you're second. And Becca, you're the third. And I was like, whoa. So you see, all these things, I realized that they were leading me somewhere. When I grew up and I could, express my feelings to my mom, I told her I wanted to become an actress. My mom said, where is here? Where is here? Don't you know the lives of actors and actresses don't end well? They don't get married. They don't settle down. They don't have a good life. They're always in the news, blah, blah, blah. And then for the women, it's prostitution, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to be in that industry. And I'm like, I'm setting my son, boy, God has people dissing me. There's no way I'll quench this fire. I told my dad. My dad was my best friend, thinking he would back me up. Yeah. My dad said, I'm not sure. He was nice about it. He was like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. He didn't give me a definite answer. He was like, I'm not sure. I told my brother about it. He said, no. I said, as for you, you and your mother. You and your mother. I said, no. So second year at the university, a friend of mine sent me a flyer. I was during a long vacation. He sent me a flyer. He was like, Becca, I know how good you are. And I know you love movies, you love acting. Why don't you give this a shot? And Liaison Legacy was, holding its first acting training camp. I sent the flyer to him and I was like, please, if I do well, just let me continue. If I don't, I would never talk about this again. And then I think the entry fee was 200 Ghana cedis. And that got me scared because already she doesn't even want to hear about it. And now I'm going to collect 200 Ghana cedis from this woman. Okay? To pursue this. She was like, okay, fine. Let's try. Oh. So the first day, the director, Louise Lamisi, was like, okay, so this is like an audition. So everybody give us what you can. Let's see what you can do. I was the last person to perform. Okay. Everybody did this. I got up there. I moved people to tears. Whoa. And I remember I saw the look on my friend's face, KT. I saw the look on, I don't remember if Edgio was there, but I saw KT's face. He looked at Louise. Louise looked at him. And then they just gave themselves a look. Like. So after that class that day, Louise called me and then he was like, what's your name? Where are you from? And then that was it. That was it. And then I had my first, I still remember the date. I think it was 27th September 2014. I had my first stage play at Georgia Hotel, Grumpy Graham. My point is, the things we go through every step of the way usually just leads us to where we want to be. It's never a waste. It's never a waste. So you may be going through things, you don't understand what you're going through. Sometimes it's the problems. She had a heartbreak. And it led her to mental health advocacy. And it didn't just help her, it helped her friend. Mine also began with a heartbreak, just as you. Yeah. And one day I was sitting on my desk and I was like, you know what? I'm tired. And I'm not the kind of person who come and sit on social media and, say the things that I'm going through for the whole world to know, oh, Mecca is going through a heartbreak and stuff like that. But I was like, why don't I encourage someone? Because I had a challenge speaking to anybody about my issues. I had been quiet for too long. And already I had thoughts of suicide for a while. And I was like, I'm not going to do this. So this would just be my own way of going through therapy. Okay. So I put one word out there. It started with the music. I'm going there. Nobody can stop me. I'm on my way, I'm going there. It started like that. And I started posting inspirational, motivational videos and messages. And people started reaching out to me. And I was like, oh. So I'm not alone. It's not even that it's working. Like, what I went through, what I'm going through, I'm not alone. a lot of people wear smiles and they're like, Becca, you have no idea what I'm going through. You see people who are beautiful and it's like, I want to be like this person because they look so good. They're healthy. And then you realize they're just dying.
Yeah.
So that's when I started talking to people. And now people think I'm a therapist. I'm like, look, I have friends who are professionals. I'm not a therapist. The only thing I can give you is a listening ear, because one thing people with depression just want is somebody to listen to you. Good listener. That's it. So that's what I started giving to people. And there were some weirdos who were trying to take advantage. But anyway, what I'm saying is the experiences we have in life, we don't need to waste them, because eventually they'll all fall into place. What happened with you? What happened with me? And I know there are a lot of ladies out there, especially women. Women, sometimes we are not allowed to speak to our problems, speak about our problems. For example, you mentioned that, for Christians, when it comes to mental health, we have to pray. Seek professional help. Seek professional help. I know a music pastor who recently died, I think about a month or 2 months ago.
That guy.
I'm sorry. He committed suicide. He probably could shabadoya mabata more than anybody. But he committed suicide because he couldn't take it anymore. Seek professional help. I don't care. Sometimes for some people, it may be their business taking a toll on them.
Yeah.
You don't have anybody to talk to.
But Bessa, I think sometimes one of the challenge is they don't know where to go or who to speak to. Sometimes people know they have to seek help and they just don't know who to go to or where to, go to for help. So maybe they should know that if you're going through any challenge, first visit the hospital. Hospitals have a mental health section or mental health nurses, right? Or psychologists. So just walk to the hospital, talk to the whoever is there that you're going to, consult with. Tell the person what you are going through. Don't tell them you have headache when you know that you have a heartbreak. Because, sometimes people lie about it. Don't tell them you have stomach pains. You don't know what, sometimes when some people reach out to me, some of my girls, when they're going through stuff and then they reach out, and I've not been eating well lately, I can't sleep. Those are symptoms. But the underlying factor is that you are hurting. And that is what you need to tell the professional. When you do that, they will direct you to the right person so that you can seek the right help.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Raquel. So tell me, with everything that you've shared with me, was there ever a moment in building your career or in building your brand where you felt like, you know what, I'm just done. I'm too tired to continue?
So many times.
Really?
Yes. So many times, because I want to be very honest about it. Sometimes you go to certain places. I like attending events like seminars, conferences, because I enjoy investing in myself. And then you attend all these events, you meet certain people as speakers and all that, you interact with them, and you just feel like, this thing that this person did, but I can do it. So why am I not getting the opportunity, the platform? But this person has the platform. What am I not doing right, to be able to get there? So in those moments, you feel like, you're putting in so much effort, but the results near clearly. So yes, there are times that I feel like, giving up. Forget about it. Just go back to teaching or go find some job and forget about it.
Sometimes when you meet these people, do you ever feel intimidated or?
Not really. I've never felt intimidated by anybody. I don't know whether it's because of the inbuilt confidence. Never. But the only thing I say is, when will I also get there? When will I have my time? Because I know I can also do this. Yeah. So that has been it. That has been it. Yeah.
So what keeps you going when things get tough?
The purpose. The purpose. So that is one thing that I inspire. I tell young women to have first. Like I said at the beginning about the pageantry, if I didn't have a purpose, if I didn't have a reason, I wouldn't have done it. There's Becca, the main drill, pageantry. You get it? So there had to be something, a reason bigger than fame, bigger than what followers. And I said, no, there had to be something. So when I found that purpose, that was it. Then I moved. So there are times in difficult moments, Because those moments will come.
Yes.
There will be times that you feel like giving up. There will be times that you feel like, this thing is not working. Let me just forget about it. I've been working at this thing for over years. But I can say over 13 years. Yeah. But every day you realize that I'm moving forward. I'm making progress.
Yeah.
But then you just feel like, I don't know, I'm do that.
Yeah.
You get to, that is the kind of
I know what you mean.
Give up. But the purpose. So when I get to that point, then I remember, why am I doing this?
Exactly.
The moment I'm able to remember why I am doing this, I get up the next day and I move.
Let me tell you something. I've had about 3 shots of a podcast. One, I wanted to do one on mental health, which I'm still going to do, by the way. But I tried shooting one a couple of months ago, but it didn't work because I lost all my files. But I was glad I could do it because I felt it was a rehearsal for me. And then today we're here, and I'm thankful for that. But you see, the thing is, sometimes when we decide to do certain things, we know there's something within us.
Yeah.
Something grand, something great. You just know. You don't know where to start from. You don't know who to talk to. You don't even know how to go about it. Like, you have everything on paper. The next thing is, where do I start? Like, I want to know, like, somebody help me. And sometimes we wish people would just come hold our hand.
That's it.
And take us there. I am fortunate to have loving people around me who encourage me day in and day out. Though not all of them have held my hand. But one time, somebody said something to me that just made me begin this. Like, it was like, look, what you carry is bigger than you, and I feel the weight, and that is why you are stalling. But the best part of a success journey is just taking that step.
The first step.
It's the hardest, the most difficult, the most uncomfortable, but all you need to do is take that first step.
One of my virtual mentors, the domino effect.
Yes.
Mel Robbins.
Yes.
Domino effect.
Yes.
The first step.
Yes.
The moment you take that first step, it tips the others. Then, things start moving. If you don't take that first step, forget it. You can dream as high as the heavens. Nothing will happen.
And I love what you said about fear, how people don't move forward just because they're afraid. Let me tell you something. Fear can be your fuel. Fear can be your fuel. And there's a lady whose video I chanced on Instagram who said, when you are afraid, that is when you should do it. That is when you should jump.
Yes.
When you're afraid, that is when you should jump. So if you're afraid of starting that business, this is the right time to start. I don't care how you start, whether it's selling or going to one person and saying, I have this product and this is what it does. If you could recommend, even if you're not going to buy, you can recommend, you can post it, you can do anything. Just start and God will see you through. I mean, we all started at some point. We all started small. Let me tell you something. She has 30 years worth of experience. I just started. If I tell you my story of how I became a radio presenter, you would marvel. You would marvel. It's an interesting story, but that'll be a story for another day. But unfortunately, we've run out of time. But before we end today's episode, Raquel, what advice would you give to young ladies out there who feel stuck in their areas or fields, in their workplaces, who are trying to start business, who for some strange reason feel stuck in life and don't know how to begin or how to continue living life? What advice would you give to them?
Seek a life coach. Because that is what life coaches are there to do, to help you unstuck, to show you the way, and to lead you there along the way. That is what life coaches do. And then again, Queen Esther's story has also taught me that beauty with a purpose is the most powerful tool for change. So as a lady, as a queen, the queen that you are, you should have a purpose. Why do you want to do what you are doing? Is it for the money or for fame, or you want to make impact? Find that purpose and then take the first step. Once you take that first step, the rest will be history because that is the most difficult part. But once you are able to do it, let nothing stop you. Let no fear stop you. In the midst of fear, in the midst of doubt, go ahead and take that bold step. You never know what is waiting for you at the other side.
Thank you so much, Raquel. All right. This brings us to the end. Well, I am doing this She Inspires with RSM so I can inspire, to encourage, and also impact lives. Okay. We have interesting stories we want to share with you so that you don't feel like you're alone in everything that you're going through. Trust me, you are not alone. This is a safe place for all my young ladies to also come and then also share their stories, whether you're already succeeding in your area or field, whether you're beginning a business, whether you're beginning life. What is your current story? Do come and share with us. Raquel, before we go, give us your social media handles. If we want to talk to you, how do we reach out to you?
All right. So I want to encourage everyone watching to follow my journey. Follow me, connect with me on my social media handles at Raquel Brand. Raquel Brand. Should I spell it?
Yes, please do. Please do.
RAQUELLEBRAND.
Right.
Raquel Brand. On all our social media handles on LinkedIn, IG, Facebook, TikTok. And who knows, you would be inspired to have your own Esther transformation.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. All right. So this brings us to the end of the episode. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, share with family, share with friends. Don't forget to turn on that notification bell so you're notified on our new episodes. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.